How's it going, Ultra Buddies? BPO5 reveals has started. It's huge. It's huge news, and we've got the triple rare. We're gonna get right into it. Got a lot of interesting cards for today. Ultraman GEED, magnificent. The first triple rare that GEED has gotten outside of the starter deck, which is huge because GEED was one of my favorite BPO1 decks. So the effect is a triple activate once per turn. Choose one of your GEED, then reveal a GEED from your hand. And if the revealed card shares the same type as the chosen card, give that character BP grade increase. Absolutely insane. It's a 7,000 at the front, 12,000, 18,000. So it's 18,000 with a crazy effect. I'm stun locked. You start us off with your thoughts.
I mean, it's definitely interesting to think about what a good G deck will look like in the future. This is a triple activate. A lot of the effects so far like doubles, but the effect itself crazy. You don't really have much of a cost to it other than getting this set up, and then you're just matching types. So you can't really use this, I guess, with like a support mixed deck. This is like a mono G setup, or as many Gs as possible.
Yeah.
That way you have the power, basic, armed, whichever type you need to bump up your grades.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Like, this is basically like if we compare it to Mebius, which has a similar effect, which is discard to BP grade increase any of your Mebius. It's discard, and this GEED is just revealed from your hand. So granted, you have to have the right GEED card, but you don't actually discard a card, which is insane. And it's at 18,000 power, which is insane. And like, I do think Mebius has the advantage of being a double, but like, this feels like, we just started BPO5 and it's like a huge jump in power creep already of like, okay, we've seen effects that we used to see, but now they're just better because you don't have to discard.
And on the double one, you can't use this thing by itself. It's a double, but it's still neat that it has access to an 18k. GEED has those, starter deck Gs. I think when you play it on play, BP grade increase, another double GEED, right? Is that effect? So yeah, you play him in lane 2 as a double, and at any point, turn 4, turn 5, you play that one. This one becomes 18k.
Yeah, and like it's insane for me to think about this card, especially because how well it plays into like the GEED strategy, which was very hard to play into before because I tried playing the GEED Zero Beyond deck, and Zero Beyond can, if you don't remember, it can boost a power, I believe a power type GEED by 1 BP grade by discarding a card. And you could use the GEED scene or the Zero Beyond scene. So when you discard a card, you draw a card. So it's kind of like you're doing a Build-A-Bear version of this GEED. And then the idea was that you'd have that set up, and then you can play a 2/3 GEED, bump it to 17, have lead. Play a 2/3 GEED, bump it to 17, have lead. And now you've got a bunch of 2/3 GEEDs, and then you have lead, and you play the round 4 scene, and suddenly like your whole field becomes 17k. So it's like 5 17k lanes. It's really hard to compete with that. So this plays perfectly into that strategy and doesn't require nearly as many setup or discarding a card or anything like that. So I'm super excited about playing GEED again. It's like coming like you with Tiga. It's like, where's the Tiga support? I'm like, where's the GEED support? So this is really exciting, and we know Tiga's getting stuff too. So it'll be a fun throwback to BPO1.
So, talking about the set as a whole, do you think this is do you think this will be an outlier in terms of how strong this will be, or are we expecting to see 4 other triple rares just as powerful?
That's tough to say. Like, I think maybe we can talk about that after we see a few more cards from today, because the cards are like pretty crazy so far. I do think this is especially strong. Like, that's my gut feeling. Is like, this feels like a notch above what we were seeing before, where like the quadruple rares, the quad rares, are they are strong, but they're not like they're actually kind of I don't know. This feels stronger than a quad rare.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest. So that's like kind of what I'm struggling with, is like, if this is the same power level of like something new, like if all of them are this level, it's going to be crazy. But if it's just this one, then we'll see. And it's hard to tell with just one. but like it definitely makes me feel like, oh man, if this is the first one they reveal and they're all like, they gotta make it like more exciting as they reveal more cards, right? So like hopefully the next ones are like even crazier.
Yeah.
Or we're just like, okay, GEED's just the best, sure.
Yeah.
But let's move on. I think we'll get a better idea. We can revisit that idea at the end of all our reveals. So then, kind of just a follow-up, we got a GEED power type, which is a clone of what we had before. But GEED has a lot of power types, so it kind of plays into this play a double like a double power like this one that can go up to 17, reveal the power. Okay, do it again, do it again, do it again, and then GEED scene to bump them all up to 17. So that just kind of plays into it. So a little bit more consistency. GEED's trying to pretend it's ball time. Yeah, there you go. Okay, you got to go over this. The guy, Ghoul Master.
Yeah, this is an interesting scene. So the round 4 scene, which means you're really only playing it round 5, pretty late in the game. No cost. If this the top card of a triple character, and specifically, it's not just your own, but it could be yours or your opponent's, is put into your opponent's hand, or sorry, into the owner's hand. Give one of your Gaia and give one of your Ghoul a BP grade increased by 1 for the turn. So the scenes we have today for Gaia Ghoul are you bounce one of your own cards to your hand, and then you get a BP grade up, or there's a BP grade down version of that. So it doesn't actually work off of some things like the Gaia Supreme. Playing that, you bounce your opponent's stuff. Doesn't actually work. This one, it would work. But that being said, it has to be triples. So even if you're using the Gaia Triple R, make sure you're bouncing the appropriate lane. But as a whole, though, I like it. It's kind of neat to think about what scenarios this could be used in. But at the same time, it kind of still feels like a win more scene. It doesn't really, to me, fix some of the weak points of the Gaia Ghoul deck. Typically, because this is a round 4 scene, so in round 4, you're either taking lead, and then in turn 5, if you're bouncing a triple of something, that's either your Gaia Triple R bouncing your opponent's stuff, or you're bouncing your own triple, which is usually used to activate your Ghoul rare effects, or the Gaia Ghoul Blade to do a BP grade up to itself. So you're already usually in a good spot, and this feels like overkill. That's my thoughts. What do you think?
Yeah, I think I kind of agree with what you're saying, but I do think that one of the things that I've noticed about the weaknesses with Gaia Ghoul, since we've been playing with it a lot recently, is that you end up with a lot of like 12,000 doubles, which just get stuck on the field. And when you're playing against a deck like Omega or something, that all their doubles are 13, even if you put yourself in a position where turn 4 or 5, you have like a cool combo play, you end up losing too many lanes to these 13Ks that it ends up not mattering that much. And so being able to turn those like double lanes into triples, but like two with 2 BP grade ups is pretty huge. I also think it's pretty interesting. This is the first round 4 scene we ever had that doesn't discard itself for using its effect, which means even if this like granted, it could be a win more card, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
But even if it isn't, then it's still kind of it's going to stick around. So it might be able to tie you the turn, and then the next turn you'll win off of it. So it's kind of something that like just kind of stays there. Actually, that's not true. Man and the Monster doesn't discard itself, so it's maybe the second one. But it's much stronger than Man and the Monster. And other than that, there's some like pretty funny interactions with this. So we've talked a little bit about them, but I'll let you explain a few of those.
Yeah. I mean, there's. I'm trying to remember which one specifically.
Okay, I'll go then.
Yeah, which one did you have?
So for the top of a triple character is remember that like it will work if yours or your opponent's is bounced. So if you are bouncing your, or rather, if you're in a Gaia Ghoul mirror match, maybe unlikely, but your opponent bounces your triple character, it will activate the effect. Pretty silly. But there's also, it gets crazier because you have to be careful when you're playing against an opponent's effect. Like maybe you didn't keep them off their triple long enough, so they have a triple already, and you're getting ready to set up your Gaia Ghoul bounce, and then they level it up to a quadruple. The quadruple bounce off your Gaia, like if you downgrade a Gaia Supreme, their quad from a Gaia Supreme, you're returning a quadruple character, not the triple character. So that's not going to activate your scene. And one thing that we'll see how funky this gets, but there's actually a new card that was revealed that can potentially return your opponent's triple character to their hand because they want to do that, which is the Tiga quad rare, right? So if the opponent plays a Tiga quad rare and swaps out their own level 3, that will activate your scene without you needing to do any bouncing whatsoever.
And we don't really see these in the meta, but this will also apply to both Legend of Stone. I believe that's another one where... I mean,
but it's a scene, so it doesn't really work.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
The other one, Galaxy Armor is off the discard. Yeah, you're right. So
yeah,
it's pretty much the quadruple rare. There's not a lot of cards that put things back in your hand.
No. So like it's really going to be probably just those, but it's kind of like some funny interactions to think about. And if your opponent's not thinking about it when they do their own effects, then they could get themselves in trouble.
Yeah, my biggest concern with this is I can only really think of one play that like helps you get to this stage. Is turn 4, you're playing a 2/3 what's he call it, Gaia Ghoul Blade to bounce. Hopefully your Gaia triple triple R back in your hand. That 17k in lane 4 should get you lead to play this, and then you can play your Gaia triple rare and trigger this. But it's still like that's probably the most consistent way to get that. If you have those pieces, you can get this. Otherwise, turn 5, I feel like unless I draw a bunch, not only draw a bunch, but draw into exactly the right bouncing cards.
Yeah.
You can definitely end up in a spot where, okay, you used all your bounces in turn 4 to try and win or stay afloat. And then you run out of something to bounce in. Turn 5.
I've definitely seen that happen quite a few times. So I think for me, the verdict's out on this one. I think it's a really, really strong effect, but whether or not it ends up being like a win more or something that the Gaia Ghoul decks start to play around actually is something to consider.
But it does mean since we have a Gaia Ghoul scene, we'll probably see some form of Gaia Ghoul. It could be a quadruple rare, maybe, or it could just be some more like rare effects, maybe a rare level 2 effect. So I think we'll want to see what's coming out there. Right now, I would be hesitant to replace one of the existing scenes with this one.
Yeah, that makes total sense. I agree with you. The most exciting thing about this scene is the fact that Gaia Ghoul is getting more support and potentially even a quad rare. Anyway, let's move on.
Still coping for that one, but
I actually think it might make it awkward to have a quad rare. So if it had a triple rare, that's probably like actually more exciting for the deck. Okay, so next is Dyna. This is I didn't realize it was 6,000 on the single. So don't play this as a single, but a 13-17, really solid. Double rare, Ultraman Dyna. Big moves in the Dyna world. And so a triple effect, activate once per turn, exile 1 scene card from your discard area, and give one of your Ultra Hero plus 2,000 BP. This is just a good effect.
Definitely.
It's just a good effect, and it really gives something that, we have Dyna Week coming up, or this might go up during Dyna Week, and it's not going to be a main Dyna deck because Dyna doesn't have enough oomph in its like own like level 3s to really like have a solid deck of its like Dyna is the main character. And this definitely gives it that, I think.
I mean, it pairs well with the Triple R Dyna. You're getting more ways to trash your scenes, and you can exile them for an additional bump. It does have to be a triple, though, so it's a little curious. Like, would you play this as a 2/3 and you let your Dyna get this guy to a triple? Do you have a mono deck, or do you play this as a triple and the Dinah as the double. Depends on.
That's tough. Yeah, it's hard to say with that. I think you might want to have this one as a triple because then that plus 2,000 could help you get the lead somewhere. Like if you did a scene search and you don't pick up the scene, then you can get that there in the drop to hopefully take lead later, which will let you play another scene. And like it kind of creates this loop of like, okay, like I play the scene, I use the Dyna to get the triple, and then the scene went to discard, so I can exile at plus 2,000. So like that creates a really powerful turn there. Yeah, it's something interesting to think about. And the more I play Dyna, the more I'm kind of like, oh, it's like it has some crazy turns, but sometimes it's also really awkward if you just don't have the lead. So we'll kind of see how it plays out. That's really all I have thoughts for this. If you got any more.
I mean, I think it'll be really interesting to see more powerful Dyna heavy decks with this one. Like these are the type of cards that you don't play as like a small support package. Like if you're playing this card, Dyna is either a mono Dyna or like a heavy Dyna.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, let's move to our next one. Gatanor, the evil god. This is a crazy one. Why don't you read it out for us?
Yeah, so it's a single, double, or triple, which suggests a level 5 at some point in the future, at least.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's future proofing it. There might not be a level 5, but since it's level 7 and it's one of those EX cards. But anyways, so when there's a level 4 Ultra on the field, or I guess your opponent has a level 4 Ultra, this BP becomes an extra down to 7k. So unless you're fighting against Tiga Zero or one of the other 3 triple rares, this one is 17k double. There is a level 6. And you can always spell your BP grade up to a 19k. That's kind of interesting.
It's a huge BP grade up. So we do have the level 6 Gatanor, which is like that makes it. This is just a kaiju version of Ginga, right? Like actually, you play a double 17k. That's like good enough by itself for the most part. But the fact that it has EX power, which means in Belial, it can just kind of sit there at 10k and then become a 17 whenever. Or if you play it as a double, it can go up to 19, which most decks can't beat. Is pretty crazy. But I don't know. I think this card has a lot of shock factor. But my gut feeling is it's not going to be very good because I think a lot of people are going to be playing level 4s. And like all they have to do to shut you off is play a 3/4 double. They don't even have to have the quad there.
That is a good point. It's definitely it would feel awkward to commit like an 8 card package like a Ginga that you typically see for level 2s, for level 3s. Yeah, this could be a 2/3 or 6/7, 17k, but you're right. Any deck that has the quadruple rare will want to play it. So like if all the quadruple rares aren't that good, then you might squeeze this one in. You might still maybe fit in 2 copies of this in a Belial deck just for some surprises. They haven't played it yet. You just
this would be a really good kind of like, okay, I think I can win the game here, play it in the last lane, or like I'm not expecting them to play the quadruple rare, or maybe you play the level 6 Gatanor early, and then their opponent has to be worried that this thing's going to come out. So there's some uses, but I do think it will really depend on how popular the level 4s are, because if they're popular, then this card is not what you want to be playing.
Yeah, it's definitely like just too restricted by the meta. So, but still interesting seeing like level 7 kaijus a little bit more. Who knows what other types of effects we'll get like this.
Yeah, I'm actually very surprised because I thought that with the design that they had, like Gil Arc, Belial, and Juggler were the only level 7s. And I thought all the other kaijus were just going to be like 5/6s.
So we might see a couple more of these like 6/7s of like final boss type kaiju. This is the final boss of Tiga. This is where Tiga loses to Gatanor and then becomes Glitter Tiga. You know, all the hopes and wishes of the children. Like he resurrects as Glitter Tiga and then takes it down. So
Okay.
So it kind of like it could be part of this new category of like these final boss kaijus that like
Okay.
get the 6-7 approach, as opposed to like
I
the
see.
Heel Arc, Belial, like 5, 6, 7, like more traditional flows.
Okay, I can see that. Okay, I like that. I like that backstory.
Oh yeah,
And the lore of like he just kind of loses to Glitter Tika too.
Yeah.
Especially in the effect, like those kind of tie-ins is nice. Okay, that's I think all I have to say about Thanathor.
Yeah.
It's gonna be strong, but if level 4s are popular, it's gonna be not strong. And then our last card, we don't really need to talk about it. It's an Ultraman X. I'm pumped because I really enjoyed my X Kaiju deck, but this card is just not it. Like this card's not even gonna make it in the deck, I think.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Maybe if it was a
13, 17 or something, but yeah.
Even a 13, 16, like if it was a double that I could play as 13 and I get to see the top, I'd be more okay with it. Just because it fits in like the theme of the deck that I was playing, which is look at the top and then middle it if I don't like it, rather than focusing on the discard. But like I can't justify playing this at any single, double, or triple level because it's just too weak.
You could play it as a single. It's an interesting one that actually does a single on play, but yes. Yeah. Probably still not going to win you that game.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's it for us. We had the GEED. We have the other GEED. We have the new Gaia Ghoul, which I'm kind of in the waiting room for the new Gaia Ghoul support. It'd be weird if they just got a scene and nothing else. Dyna is looking solid already, and Katanathor we'll just kind of have to wait and see for that one. Yeah. But the GEED episode reveals complete. Really surprised we already seen like so many reveals, but I can't wait for more. It's going to be exciting.
Yeah, I mean we've seen one triple R and a few double Rs, I guess.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll get to see some more interesting things. I guess today is Friday as of this recording, so we did get the Katana Thor, which I think is a good Friday shock factor card. So hopefully this point next week we'll have something. I don't know if we'll get another triple R so soon, but we'll get something interesting for sure.
Hopefully at least one triple R or one quad rare each week. So
that's true. Now they have like 10
cards. There's so many cards they have to reveal.
So
all right. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for Dyna Week, and after that will be Trigger Week, which I'm still working on a deck for. But it'll be fun. It'll be good times, and then we're just going to be practicing, probably getting ready for the qualifier season, which is also why BPO5 is so exciting, because that's going to be probably the majority of our qualifiers for the US region. So we'll see you around. Bye.
Yeah, see you.